Hi, I'm Renee Hobbs, and welcome to EDC 534. Today's date, oh my gosh, it's January 30th already, and this is the second class of Digital Authorship, the graduate course offered as part of the Graduate Certificate in Digital Literacy. I'm here with Lauren, Pam, Jessica, and possibly some others who might be joining a little later, or you may be watching this recording, which is cool. So we have a nice interesting agenda for tonight, and I want to share with you our homepage. If this looks a little different than what it looked like last week, it's because I did that thing that WordPress loves you to do, which is you change the template. Right? So I changed the template, so now the pages are just a little bit simpler and cleaner. You can see there's the navigation is at the top and on the side. I've got the lovely, see the little square box of images that are kind of floating through the whole thing. And now the posts are chronological, so you can kind of follow along in one fell swoop, just straight through the whole thing. So it's a little bit different, and I had a lot of, why do we have so much fun playing with the design? Just like a 7th grader, right? They're always changing the font and changing the color. And I did that for about an hour and a half. It was really fun. So just saying, you can give me some feedback if you like it or you don't like it. I'm happy to take your feedback. Here's what we're going to do tonight. So the first thing is to do, of course, is to celebrate our team. It was absolutely great because we weren't all together last week in a synchronous way. It was a great experience to encounter you in the Flipgrid, and really liked that. I definitely see that you are watching these too, and that's really useful because your Leap 2 is a collaborative project. So it's in your best interest to get to know the team so that you can start to think about possible partners. But this was really great to know you, to get to know you through the Flipgrid. So loved that. What's really cool is that we have people with different kinds of expertise, right? We have a science and a math person. We have a elementary school person. We have a prevention person. We have some high school English teachers, and we have some high school technology integration specialists. And wow, it was so cool to see Michelle's Flipgrid as she's showing us the Big Ben. She's Flipgridding from London, and the Big Ben is in the background. It's like, damn, she's like, I'm at London at a conference. Like, oh, that's so cool. And thanks for getting Big Ben in the shot, right? So that's kind of cool that if you do know that if you need to, you can use the Zoom and participate in the Zoom or the Flipgrid from a remote location. The other thing that was cool is Michelle mentioned that she's starting a new job as a high school ed tech specialist, and so that was good to know as well. So that was fun. So it was great to get a chance to meet you. If you haven't had a chance to contribute to that, remember that activity is due this Friday. All the assignments for this week aren't due until this Friday, but try to get it done by then for sure. Okay, here's what I'd like to do at the very beginning of our time. I'd like to have a small group breakout where we talk a little bit about some of the most interesting concepts from the readings that we did last week. So you'll notice if you click on that link, you're invited to make a copy of this. It's like a study sheet. One of the things that as a scholar for my own way of active reading, I have a lot of different strategies. You know, I write inside the book, right? I annotate digitally, but I also sometimes just keep a log of ideas, like a list, right? And so I'm going to invite you to think about that idea of using a list format as a way to document your active reading process. So what I'm going to do is invite you to, you chose one of these readings. And as I read them all, of course, I started making a list of concepts that I thought were kind of cool or interesting about these readings. So what I'd like you to do with a partner is talk over some of the ideas from this list that you remember or that were interesting to you or that you had questions about. So this is an open discussion with a partner, but about one or more of the concepts. They're pretty cool, like this one, the narcissism of self-expression, right? So you don't have to have read this chapter to have a conversation about how Facebook structures the representation of identity. Deconstructing film using storyboards, interpreting poetry with storyboards, the power of the specific and the concrete. That may jog your memory about something. The pitch, right? The gift of memory. I just love that phrase, right? The idea that storytelling is a gift of memory. The unreliable quality of digital texts, and lots of other ideas. Does the author really matter? That's an idea that you might want to talk about. Yeah. How global intellectual property laws regulate authorship, and originality and individuality. So give me a thumbs up if you know what we're going to do. I'm going to break you up into teams. You're going to have an open discussion on at least 2 of these concepts. I'm only going to give you about 5 minutes to do that. But then when we come back, we'll do some synthesis, okay? Thumbs up if you get what we're doing. All right, here I'm going to start the breakout rooms. You'll get a message, if you haven't used the breakout rooms before, that you'll get a message like click here to go to the breakout rooms. So there we go. Lauren and Jessica, Brian and Pam.
Hey Renee, I can't figure out my my camera right now. I'll try to see if I'm trying to find like why that's not working. So
no problem. In the meantime, I think you should still be able to participate even still. All right. See if the breakout rooms are working for you. Good show. Okay, so if you're watching this, if you're watching this right now, be aware that the students who are involved in the live Zoom recording are involved in a small group discussion activity, working with one other partner to talk over the most interesting ideas from that study sheet. If you're watching this broadcast, I'm going to ask you to make a copy of that study sheet and identify 2 or 3 of the most interesting concepts and make some, you can't talk to anyone about it, but make some notes on it to show me your thinking about the concepts that grab your attention. So try that as a substitute for this actual activity that we're doing tonight.